Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. Another victory for Michael Carrick and the boys, the lads. Initial thoughts right off the bat before we really get into the deep conversation. Listen, I wouldn't say it's the greatest performance. Listen, for me, I was left a little bit disappointed because I think the first 10 minutes we came out there and we looked really sharp. We looked up for it. We looked really good. We were pushing. We had Ahmad should have scored twice, but he should have scored that first time. Maguire had a very good header as well. And I'm sitting there thinking, the first 10 minutes, I'm thinking, well, I feel like right now, if we keep this up, we're going to have a very good performance, a very good day. We're going to put 3 past them. And, it's going to be a nice positive, sort of thing. And we sort of fell into a little bit of the trap that we usually fall into. Now, I don't know if this is because the squad, the team itself still needs to go up a level or two in terms of mentality, or maybe it's part of the game plan. But we scored the goal. Uncle Cass coming through again. Another sort of brilliant set piece. And we've gotten so much better at set pieces, and we've scored a lot of good goals from set pieces this season specifically. But we scored the goal, and then we sort of just took our foot off of the pedal again, which is typical for us. We usually do that in one way or another. And then we really let Brentford start getting into the game. There was a statistic, I'm pretty sure it was something like, after we scored the goal, Brentford had about 68% possession, and we had 32. And we're at home, and we're at Old Trafford, And for me, that's just like, we need to be able to get out of that sort of thing. We can't be letting that really happening. And we were a bit sloppy, in certain periods of the game. I think for me, there is a little bit of luck in the fact that, I'm just going to be bluntly honest, Brentford suck. Okay, Brentford suck. I mean, there was at least 2, 3, 4 opportunities. You give those same chances to a team higher up in the table that's performing a lot more elite and has better quality, they're scoring the goals. Igor Thiago could have easily had a hat trick at one point. Unmarked breakaways, through on goal, 1-on-1. We were very lucky that they didn't have their shooting boots today, okay? They were a little bit like bees without stingers today. Now, obviously, they got one very late in the game. Really good shot by Jensen, and you ain't fucking saving that. You're not saving that. Nobody's saving that. But, we got to do we got to do better at stepping to that ball. They should never be allowed to take that sort of shot. We need to be better to get in front of that ball and block it. But he hit it excellently, and once you allow him the space and he hits that ball, it goes in between 2 players. It's curling away. You're not stopping that. You're not saving that. I will say this, and I meant to do this in the sort of the actual first sentence that I was going to say, but we'll do it for the clips. All right, sack Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick needs to be sacked. We came out in the second half. All right, we went to a 5-back. We played a 5-2-1-2 or 5-2-3, whatever it was. We got to sack him. You can't play a 5-back at Old Trafford. We're up 2-0. Can't play 5-back. Not allowed. Not allowed to play 5-back. You played a 5-back. That's it. That's it. He's got to be sacked. Get rid of him. He's not allowed to be the manager. Forget what he's done. He's done the ultimate sin. He's come out. He's changed the formation, probably because of Steve Holland. But he's played a 5-back. That's it. It's over for him. So, I don't care. He could win the league from here to the end of the season. I don't even know if that's mathematically possible. But even if he does, he's played a 5-back. That's it. We got to get rid of him. It's over. It's over. It's over. Forget it. He's a shit manager. He's played a 5 back at Old Trafford. That's it. Crucify him. That's it. It's over. It's over for him. It's over for him. No, obviously I'm joking, but I didn't really like the fact that we went to a 5 back. Okay, I understand why they did it because we were exposed. But for me, I think I would have preferred if we did a tactical substitution and added an extra midfielder, another one. Play Cass behind 2 guys, which I would have put Kobe and maybe Mason Mount. I don't know if Mason Mount was able to play all those minutes from that period. I don't know if he was able to play 45 minutes, but I would have preferred to put on an extra midfielder and rearrange the front a little bit like that. If you're going to take off Diallo, you're going to take off a winger, rearrange the front that way and don't play with the 5 back, put in an extra midfielder and maybe get a bit more hold in the game. But listen, ultimately, everything aside, he did get the job done and, good, another 3 points and literally we're right there. We're right there. I think we need 2 points to mathematically secure Champions League. 100% guaranteed, confirmed, no ifs, ands, or buts or doubts about it. So, we're 1.5 foot or steps in the door. So we got a half a step left to take, and obviously the next match coming up is Liverpool. So, but what is the chat saying, guys? Let me know what you're feeling and thinking about the match. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna do the comments post-match and all the good stuff. As of course, it's good to be back live. We were supposed to go live yesterday, but I didn't have a chance to do it, so I apologize for that. But I had to take care of real life things. So, yes. But please make sure you're smashing the like button, people. Get that done. It's very important to the show, to the channel. So if you want to support us, smash the like button, get that done. If you did it already, thank you very much. If you're new and you enjoyed the content, subscribe. We're at 3,310. We're trying to get to 3,500. So, yes, get that done, people. Lucky is here. Axe is here, as I say. Axe. Black screen. Delo was pushed as a winger. Well, he was playing right wing back, my brother. We need 3 more points to be sure of UCL. I believe it's 2. Casemiro goal game. Yes, Casemiro. Listen, Uncle Cass again. No, we've said this a few times already, but bro, yeah, I mean, as far as farewell tours go, I don't think you could probably have a better one. I mean, I think this is his best. It's definitely all around probably his best season since he's been here. But especially even in the goal-scoring contributions department or the goal-scoring department itself, I think this is the most goals he scored in a season for us. And then you couple that with the performances, away from the opposition's box and, how he's been playing in the midfield. He was gold. Kobe was good too. I listen. I was a bit. I'm left a bit like with a bitter taste in my mouth because the level that they offered to us in the first 10 minutes, bro, that first chance that Diallo blew, that Diallo should have scored, where Kobe had the ball and Kobe's on the edge of the box and he dribbles through. What was that? Like 2 or 3 players. He flicks the ball. He takes a flick behind him. Redirects changes the direction, turns his body, goes in across the box, and I'm thinking he's gonna shoot. Now, I can understand maybe why he didn't shoot. I would have liked him to shoot, but there was a guy, sort of behind the goalkeeper guarding the post in the angle, so he laid it off to Diallo. But then Diallo doesn't score. But I'm looking at that, and in those first 10 minutes, like Kobe was going crazy. And so was most of our players. And then we sort of dropped off a level from there, a level or 2. So for me, it's a little bit of like a bitter taste because I'm walking away from this game today, and I'm sort of just like, Carrick's done very well to sort of bring the basics back to the team. Okay, he's done well to stabilize us. We're in a good position. We're in a good spot. Okay, he's getting results. We're getting points. We're in a good position in the table. Probably far better than any of us thought we could actually achieve before the season started. I don't think anybody thought we could really get to third. I think everybody would have probably, and I think a lot of people were. I can remember that people were like, yeah, I mean, that's something extraordinary would have to happen. So he's gotten us here. But my sort of now where we are, I think, is, listen, he's been here since January, basically. Okay? It's about to be five months or so, close to it. And I think the real question that comes next for Michael Carrick is, one, obviously, is he going to be given the full-time job? But I'm just going to speak as if he's going to, because that's where we are right now. He is here, and it seems like he probably will, but we don't know for sure. But my thing is can he add, like, let's just say he is appointed the permanent role. Can he add, because I think he needs to add a layer of some sort of advanced level to this squad next season. Because there are a bunch of areas on the pitch throughout the game, situations, scenarios, where we are still a bit not perfected. We're still very sort of green around those edges. They're not well oiled. We're still on a little bit still on a fairly basic level. We need to go up another level. So, I think my ultimate question for Carrick is, can he add a little bit more layers as obviously time goes on and he's here, especially that's, if he's going to be the manager going into next season. That's something that I'd be looking for next season, because we're still a little bit sloppy here. We're still a little bit too slow in certain situations. Sometimes we don't press the way I think we should press in certain situations. There's guys losing their markers or not following through. I mean, one of the opportunities that Brentford had, it came from Diallo, who was tracking Coyote, because that's his guy, because Coyote is a right back, okay? And Diallo was playing on that wing, so that's his man. And Coyote makes a run from the side, diagonally into the center of the box. Diallo, once he gets to the middle of the box, he stops following Coyote. Maguire is out of position because he went to go track somebody else, so he's not there. And Coyote is just left wide open. The ball goes to him, and again, luckily, they suck, so they couldn't finish. But if that's somebody else, they're scoring a goal because they're wide open in the middle of a box, and Diallo has to follow through because that's his guy. So there's little things here and there that need to be, like, rounded out. They need to be fixed up a little bit. They need to be reinforced. They need to be made stronger. We need to be executing a little bit more on every smaller details and stuff like that. He's done well to bring the basics back, and he's done well to stabilize us. But we're gonna need more at some point. So, listen, there's only a handful of games, and it hasn't really transpired too much since he's come into now. But if he's given the permanent job, that's something that we're gonna have to look for, next season, because there's got to be a further transformation under this going forward. So, Renosa says, Eric, it could be the accent, but anything ambiguous you say about your personal life sounds like you're in the mafia. I like that. See what less games made for him. Who, Casemiro, you saying? Mano is very good defensively. He was. Listen, I think Mano has improved a lot in that area. He does seem like he has more strength. he's he's getting he's getting in on the ball, getting it back more on a higher rate than I think he previously was, from what my memory can serve me. And I'm trying to compare to, I don't know, let's just say like, a year ago, 2 years ago, what I could remember from a couple matches here and there of what I remember him being able to do and not really being able to do. So I think he has improved in those areas. I think he could improve a lot more as well. I don't think, he's not definitely not done. He's a young guy, and he could get way, way, way better. But I think Kobe has filled the role quite nicely. We've talked about the midfield a lot, and obviously we have like a huge project surrounding the midfield, the central midfield. And I was saying last time, like, would I like Kobe to get? It would be nice to see Kobe if he could get a cup, like, some more assists, maybe some more goals. But I think maybe that comes a little bit later. I'm not like too fussed about that because I think overall he's playing a very balanced game for us, and he's sort of doing that job. And I was saying last time, like, those the two guys that we got sitting in the midfield, they have to be kind of like what we see right now. I mean, Kobe is very balanced. All right. You could see when he gets up and near the box, he is quite effective. He's good in those, like many people have said many times, tight spaces, in and around the box, back to goal and stuff like that. And then there's Cass. And obviously Cass is like the legendary CDM, but as you see, he gets into the box for set pieces. He's quite effective. He does like to push up. He can bring the ball up. He can make passes when he is in the final third, which helps us offensively. And then he obviously does the job defensively. And we probably need another two guys like that if we're going to continue with Michael Carrick and playing, his plan and his style in this sort of way. Obviously, if you get a different manager, it might change a little bit. So, yeah. We were supposed to go live yesterday, but I had to take care of a thing. I had some things I had to take care of, I know a guy. I know a guy. I know a guy, I know a guy. You know a guy? I know a guy. Natasha's here, says, hi, Eric. How are you? I'm good. How are you doing? I'm good today. I mean, our team won. We got 3 points. I was able to actually watch the match for the first time this would be the 3rd match. I wasn't really able to watch the Chelsea match. I didn't watch the match before, so it was, it was good to get that back. I felt a bit weird because I felt like I haven't watched the match in like forever. So, I sat down properly and was able to watch it, which was good. And obviously we got the 3 points, so we can continue on the rest of our week and be happy, ultimately. But I'm good, Natasha. How are you doing? Like what? Defeated Arsenal, City, Chelsea. Eh? I agree that we need more for UCL, but you were kind of supportive of Amorim, yet we look far better under Carrick being given the same period in charge for both of them. I mean, yeah, I don't care if I was supportive of Amorim. I'm not supporting Michael Carrick. What I'm saying, I'm just simply posing a question, and I'm just saying I'm not. We do need for next season. Listen, he's gonna have to figure out. What I'm saying is for his job, for him specifically, because I want him to succeed. So he's gonna have to add something. He's gonna have to add another layer or two to the squad. He's done very well to stabilize us. He's done very well to sort of, I think he, like they said when he first came in, he sort of just bring the basics back to the team. And this is all very well and good. But ultimately, if you would like Carrick to succeed and you would like Carrick to do a really good job, well, he's going to have to add an extra layer or two at some point. Because if it just stays the way it is like this, Michael Carrick will fail and Michael Carrick will lose his job because it's not sustainable for the long term. So I'm hoping so. Obviously he's allowed to get more time and find that answer, or I'm gonna be backing him. I have no problem with that. My hope is that he does find it. I worry a little bit because I don't think I'm maybe the biggest fan of Steve Holland, and he is a bit of a defensive guy working with Southgate and that whole setup under England. And I wasn't a fan of anything that England was doing under Southgate, and obviously Steve Holland. So I don't know. For me personally, I think if we keep Carrick, I think we should probably get a better assistant manager for him. Um, one that isn't so defensive minded, I think. But I don't know what they're gonna do with all of that. So you are not wearing the chain, and where's your glass of wine? No glass of wine because I need to go and work out, and I got some things to do after the show. So no glass of wine. It's too early for the wine. And the chain is being cleaned right now. It needed a cleaning, so I got it in the liquid cleaner for the jewelry. So um yeah, I mean, Renosa says we don't look better. We are winning more games without looking well. I don't listen. I think, and that's sort of kind of where I'm getting at. Like, I don't think what Carrick has necessarily done is so much of a massive transformation. That's kind of where I'm trying to get. I'm not trying to take away any credit to Michael Carrick or anything like that. What I'm saying is like we played one style and one system. The style and system has changed, but for the style and system that we're playing now under Michael Carrick, I do feel like it's still at a basic level. Whether we're getting more results or or more points or whatever it is, I think there's other factors that go into that. Obviously, with like the type of player we have, the quality of player we have, are they better suited for this system and this formation over the other system and formation, differences in managers and stuff like that? There's a lot that goes into that. But what I'm saying is, I do feel like it is at a basic level right now, and he's going to have to add an extra layer, a couple layers to it, and it's going to have to progress, which I hope it does. And I think, I don't know if he could do it because we're a bit of an uncharted territory. He doesn't have like loads of experience. We haven't seen him too much in like, situations and stuff like that. So my hope for Carrick is that I hope he does it and he's able to do it. Because I think if he can do it, I think, we'll be flying super high. Because if he could get results and points at this level in this amount of time, if he's able to add another extra layer or two and add like a more advanced level to what he's already got, we're going to be a very sort of well-oiled machine. If we're doing what we're doing right now, and I consider this sort of at a basic level, and we can take another step, go up a couple another levels, like level 2, level 3, we get to that advanced part. If he's able to implement this, get the squad to do it and execute it at a high level, we're gonna be killing teams. We're gonna be cooking teams. We're gonna be looking elite. So, but obviously there's a lot of things that has to go. Number one, he's got to be given the job. Number two, first part comes, Ineos have to do their job, and they got to get the proper recruitment, proper players, and then his time comes. Once they get the players in and we go to start next season and you have the preseason and all that stuff, then he comes in. That's where he comes in. And then that's his time to shine and show what advancements with his new toys and the old toys that he had, what he's able to do with that sort of stuff. So almost everyone has improved since Carrick came in. Yeah, but I don't think they've, but I wouldn't say they have individually improved. I think the team has improved overall. but it's not, it hasn't been, it's not that huge of a, it's not that huge of a transformation, I would say. The DNA is back. The DNA could use a little bit more of a tweak. I mean, DNA, we would never be playing a 5-back at the second half at home against Brentford, winning 2-0. So, you know. The team shows good patterns of play. They do, but they need to sustain it longer, and they need to. They can definitely execute it way better, way faster. Because there's times in the match where we fall off. Okay, like for me, ultimately, I would like the first 10 minutes that we played. I want somebody to finally get the team, the group of players. If we're gonna go anywhere and we're gonna do anything, the first 10 minutes we played, the manager has got to get the players to be able to do that for 90 minutes. And we still haven't done that. We still haven't done that. We didn't do it under Carrick. We didn't do it under Ruben. We didn't do it under Ten Hag. Maybe we did in his first season, Ten Hag, maybe. I can't really remember. I know we had a good season that season, but obviously after that first season, we didn't do it under Ten Hag. We didn't do it under Ruben. And we haven't really done it under Carrick. That first 10 minutes, that intensity, that level, the execution, it was pretty flawless, but we didn't really sustain it. Not that we didn't really sustain it, we definitely didn't sustain it. So I would like, somehow, we got to get that first 10 minutes. We got to get the players to be able to do it for 90 minutes. And if you can, we're in a very, we're flying. We're flying. So, but he's done a good job, and I believe in him, and I think, for me, listen, I don't know if we necessarily have much to lose at this point. Like, I think as the weeks have gone on and the points and even the performances themselves, like, I think it's very hard to sit there and say, like, we just got to move away from Michael Carrick and go get somebody else, especially with, who's out there and who's available. So, I do think he'll probably get the job. You know what I mean? Natasha says, I think that they will only sign Baleba, but they're not only going to sign Baleba. Natasha, I promise you with all my heart, they will sign more than just Carlos Baleba. Carrick is the yes man to the board. It is so boring. Well, listen, here's the thing, Natasha. Even if that's the case, you're not going to be able to get what you want, right? Even if Carrick is the yes man, okay? And if that's the case, well, if they want a yes man, they're never going to hire. They're never going to hire anybody that's not a yes man. So, you're kind of stuck with it. And I don't really like that because it makes Carrick sound like, it makes Carrick sound like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit disrespectful to Michael Carrick. Like, Carrick is here. He's not here for Ineos. He's here because he loves the club. The club needed help. He wants to do good for the club. He wants to make the club successful in one way or another. We gave him a home. We gave him an opportunity as a player. And, we grew him. We developed him. He gave us stuff on the pitch in return, but he wants to sort of give back as well. So, in some terms, is he sort of a yes man? I mean, like, I don't really like that terms. He doesn't have a big ego. He doesn't have the level of necessarily pull that somebody like a Luis Enrique will. But I don't like to say yes, man, because to me, that's just like Michael Carrick is just going in there and getting on his knees and basically just everything that Will Cox and Barada or Sir Jim say to him, Carrick isn't going to give his opinion. He's just going to be like, yes, boss, yes, boss, yes, boss, which I don't think is what's happening. I think Michael Carrick is going to give his opinion. If he doesn't want a player, if he doesn't agree with something, I think Michael Carrick will voice his opinion on that. I don't think he's afraid to do such a thing. But is Michael going to sort of lose his head and go crazy and go ballistic, like maybe like an Enrique or like like a Conte would, who are very high demanding and a little bit erratic? No. So if that's boring, it is what it is, I guess. But Chad says basically be basic. Well, yes, right now, which I don't think is necessarily a problem. Again, it's not, right now is not the stage for it to be really a cause of concern. I'm okay with it. I can live with it for now because of the sort of the situation that transpired for this. It wasn't really the plan. There wasn't really a plan to get Michael Carrick in. It wasn't really part of the plan. They had to make it up on very short notice. The coaching staff are surrounding Michael Carrick was put together very quickly, short notice. So I think with the whole situation coming in January in the middle of the season, and really what we did need from him is we didn't need to become super elite. We needed to do exactly basically what Michael Carrick's done, which is bring stabilization, a bit of the basics, a good feel factor, buy into, some sort of the belief of the system or philosophy of whatever he's, preaching to the players. And he's done all that, which is why I think, he's done the job in that case, because we've gotten the points because of it. We've gotten into the very good position because of it. But, looking towards the future, if he is given the full-time job, then obviously going forward, at some point, we're going to have to start taking up some steps or levels because it's got to go somewhere. Ultimately, otherwise, he will end up losing his job at some point, which I wouldn't want him to do. So at this point, I can't pinpoint exactly what needs to improve. I literally did like a whole list as soon as I opened the show. There are times where we are sloppy. We don't execute properly in terms of we slow the ball down sometimes too much. At points, the passes sometimes aren't great. Some of the defending is still poor. I think we could probably do a better job if we're gonna drop back and sit back a little bit. We could probably do a better job of counterattacking. I think we could do better at counterattacking. I think we could be much more effective counterattacking and balancing out that way. Another one for me is I would like, but maybe this is a personal preference, but I think I still think we need to create way more chances for Sesko. We need Sesko to get involved more. Sesko has a shot and a half on him. We need to create way more chances for Sesko because Sesko could score a hat-trick a game with the foot he has. And Bruno did most of the work there, and well, not most of the work. He had a little bit of work left to do when he gave it to Sesko. But Sesko put it away, so I was happy to see him score. But yeah, there's a lot of areas that we still need to improve. We are nowhere near sort of elite. So, people who say that we are basic, yeah, we are third in the most difficult championship in the world. Yes, but if you actually watch the game, bro, and the way we move the ball and the way we move in positions and the way we pass the ball and stuff like that, it is still very basic level, bro. Okay, if you go watch the best of the best teams, they move it faster than us. Still, it's instinctive, way more instinctive to them, and they're a lot more dangerous than us. So, when you compare us to the very best, we are more on a basic level. We are because this game, all right, we should have killed them. We should have killed them. We should have killed them. We should have scored in the very beginning. We should have gotten a third at some point, which we didn't. And also, we should have never allowed them to get into the game the way we did, and we should have never given the opportunities that they did, because they had a lot of opportunities that are bad opportunities for us, against us. In the fashion of Igor Thiago, the amount of times and the way he was open and through on goal should never be allowed to happen. And thankfully, it's Brentford. Because if it was... Listen, let me put it this way. As much as Liverpool has been Liverpool this season, you give those chances that we gave today to Brentford, to the Liverpool players, we're losing that game. We're not winning that game. Okay? We're not winning that game. You cannot give those opportunities that we did. You cannot make those mistakes that we did today against Brentford when we go play Liverpool next week. Won't happen. They'll kill us. They'll absolutely kill us. So, we are not elite. By no means. Carrick's done very well to stabilize the team, bring back some of the basics, and that's what we're seeing right now. We're doing the basics very well. We're together as a team, but we can go much higher, and we're going to need to go much higher if we're going to, compete with the very, very best from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. And then if you want at the end of the season to win the ultimate prizes, we're going to have to go up a couple levels, and he's going to have to figure out an answer for that at some point, one way or another. So, but Wilcox and Barada want Carrick. It will be a long time before United wins trophies. Well, we just won trophies not too long ago. We could win trophies again. Jupiter is just full of gas. You know what, Renosa? That's a good one, actually. I don't know why I never thought of that one. See, I'm not that smart. Never said I was, anyway, but I need to go to sleep. I wish everyone a good day / night, and please enjoy the remaining of the stream. All right, good night, broski. I am a night owl and will be watching all the World Cup games, as in the UK they're going to be shown early hours for the morning lovely. That's right. That's right. Me and Renoso over here, okay? We'll talk smack to all of you UK, European people. All right, I'm just joking. But, now, okay? Now, you guys can experience what we experience a little bit, okay? Just so you get a little bit of the other side of the story, okay? Because obviously it's in the US, so all the times are allocated properly for us, so we're gonna enjoy it thoroughly. But basically, every single World Cup, we've had to watch them at the most fucked up times. So now Europe gets to experience that, and the rest of the world, for once. So, it is a bit nice that at least for this one, it lines up for us. Good. So I could have one World Cup in my life where I could watch it just properly. Because I remember some of them. One game was at 4:30 in the morning. The other game's at 12:30. You're not watching two matches out of the day, out of the three matches out of the day, because you're at work or you're sleeping or you're getting up to go to work. You're not watching these matches, so you miss like half the World Cup. So yeah. Sebastian's here. Yo, what's up, Sebastian? How you been, buddy? You okay, bro? I'm good, brother. I'm good, brother. Listen, let's see what the peeps, let's see the reaction to the match, okay? If you guys want, you want to do some player ratings, get them up in the live chat while I'm looking at sort of the reaction to the match. Let's go over some stuff. Obviously no Mateus Cunha, cuz he was still struggling with the groin injury and it wasn't able to be fit. So hopefully he'll be back for Liverpool. I would bet he would be, because I think they said that he kind of just he tried very hard to make it, but he just didn't make it slightly. But he was there and he was watching the game, and obviously he's very happy. And we are, as the table sits here, okay, Arsenal 73 with 34 matches played. Manchester City 170 with 33 matches played. Manchester United on 61 points in third with 34 matches played. And Liverpool, we have a plus 14 goal difference, by the way. Liverpool in fourth now because of Villa's slip up on 58 points with a 13 plus goal difference. And Villa on 58 in fifth, 34 matches played, 5 goal difference. Yeah, I mean, there's an 8-point difference between 6th and 5th, which is obviously Europa League and Champions League difference. And we are 11 points ahead of Brighton Hove Albion, who are in 6th place. So we're basically there. We're basically there. We have a big job. Next week, we got to play the Pool. Okay? It's a 6-pointer. It's obviously the biggest derby there is. And it's going to be it's going to be one of those, just Manchester United, Liverpool. It's always one of those when we meet up. So it's going to be a massive game, big game. And, listen, we go and win that. We're laughing all the way to the bank. Sunny's on. You got the sunnies on. Nice big smile. Maybe your pop is in. Maybe you get a little bit of a white monster. All right. And, you're in the car and you're just cruising, blasting some music, and you just got a nice big smile. And, so hopefully we go and do that. We are lagging, bro. You're lagging. We're lagging? Oh, you're lagging. Natasha says the match was so boring. Yes, the match wasn't literally... Listen, I think... And that's what I was saying. Like, the opening part of the match, the first 10, 15, 20 minutes was very good. I mean, it was very sort of back and forth. It got boring at some point, and it was boring because we kind of we weren't controlling the game a whole lot, as you would expect United to do at home to Old Trafford versus Brentford. Like, you expect us to have, or you would like us to have 68%, 70 possession, creating, it's almost like every time we have the ball and we go forward, we're creating some sort of dangerous chance that we look like we're going to score. That wasn't really happening for a large part of the match. So, I mean, it's a bit hard to stay entertained when you're watching your team. Okay, we're winning, but Brentford have a lot of the ball, and a lot of it is being spent in, sort of the midfield or our half, and we're just kind of waiting for United to do something. And a lot of times we get the ball back and we don't have it for too long before we lose it. So, we do need to improve in areas. Sebastian says, yeah, bro had a surgery recently. That's why I've been out. Oh, man. Well, I hope the surgery went well, brother. And I wish you a speedy recovery, my friend. And I hope everything's good now, hope everything is good, bro. Was it Energy drinks are no good for you. I know that's what they say, but it is what it is. Uh, Listen, we're all gonna go. We're all gonna go at one point, and you never know your day, dude. You never know your day. Listen, I don't drink them crazy. Okay, I'm not like an addict like that. I don't drink like one a day or something like that. I like to have one every once in a while. Every once in a while, you have one. Listen, it's got 10 calories. It's got 0 sugar in it. It's probably the best of the worst, right? But you never know. You never know. Listen, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Knock on wood. But if that happens, at least I enjoyed one last good energy drink before. So, Eric, I want us to get 3 goals, but Brentford very good team. Yes, I want us to get 3 goals too. And listen, I wouldn't say that they're a very good team though, Lucky. I think if they were a very good team, they would have beaten us with the amount of opportunities we gave them. Um, I actually think it comes from us. I think again, the way we played in the first 10 sort of 15 minutes, we didn't sustain that level. We didn't sustain that intensity. And we scored the goal, and it was like we took our foot off of the gas a little bit. And then it was like we were sort of stuck there. We sort of, it was almost like, I don't know, we put it on cruise control and it let Brentford grow into the game. And then it was almost like we were stuck in cruise control. Like, it was like we probably wanted to get out of cruise control, but then the dynamic of the game switched because we sort of allowed it to. And then it was very hard to sort of get out of that. And we kind of just got stuck there for large parts of the game. We still did well because they had opportunities. I think we were a bit fortunate that they didn't score more than the 1 goal that they scored, because out of the opportunities that they had, I think for Igor Thiago, okay, he had 3 chances. I don't see how he didn't score 1 out of those 3. Like, those opportunities happened in football matches. 2 of them, I was like, well, this is a goal. And it didn't happen. And when it happened the second time, I go, well, we got away with the first one. He's scoring this one now. There's no way you get away with it twice. And we got away with it twice. So, United were playing like England, boring. Yeah, well, we do have, Steve Holland. So, he is the assistant coach. So, yeah, he is going to have some sort of influence there. I don't really like it too much. But kept getting ball back. Lewis Potter, Shader, very difficult to get the ball off of. Have you had nice hot weather? We have. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's still it's a bit similar to England in that at this time right now it likes to rain a lot. So it was absolutely pouring 2 days ago. And then yesterday was actually decently nice, and today. So it's sort of mixing it up like that. Like, it's either absolutely just raining, pouring, like all day, and it might rain like 3 days in a row, or then the sun comes out and it's like nice, So that's kind of where we are right now. We need another month before it's actually sustainable. You should have a fruit juice instead. Water is the best. I got the water here, so I got my big water here. But yeah. Congratulations, Manchester United grafting performance. Casemiro, Harry Maguire, Kobe Mainu, Mazawari, duels, blocks, headers. Yeah, I will say, listen, I was a bit disappointed with Ahmad though. Bro had 2 massive chances and he needed to score. And those have to be goals, and he didn't. And he sort of had a rough game. I mean, he only played 1 half, and we made a tactical substitution. So he didn't come off because he was having a rough game, but there was a lot of instances like it just started off bad for him. Like, he didn't score that goal in the first like 5 minutes of the game, And then it was just like a lot of things weren't going for him today. He didn't score the other opportunity. And just things weren't coming off for him. So it was like one of those where just it seemed to like be getting worse as the minutes gone on for him. Just like nothing good was happening from him. I mean, he did score, but then it was offsides. So, it was just nothing was seeming to work out for him today. So, but it was interesting because, Carrick did put him on the left, and we've seen him play on the right multiple times, and maybe he's more effective on the right than he is on the left. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt like, listen, in Mbeumo too, a little bit. Like in Mbeumo, there was a couple instances in the match with Mbeumo. It's like the lack of, it's almost like he's like a lack of sharpness at times. I don't really know what it is. I don't know what to jock it down to exactly, but like there was like a couple instances like ball over the top, he's running onto it. It goes to take a first touch. The first touch is shit. It like bounces off his shin or something, goes very far away. He loses the opportunity. He gets put through. He's like sort of 1v1. Is like a bit of a missing burst of speed or something to take on the defender, get past him, a skill move or something, a bit of trickery. So, I don't know what it is, but he needs to turn up a little bit more as well. Because I've seen the things that he did at Brentford when he was at Brentford. And he was in a couple opportunities there today. And I'm just like, he's off. He's off it a little bit. He's not 100% sharp. He's not executing at the highest level. The touch is a little bit off. It's minor. It's not massive, but it's just these little things make a difference at some point. So, I want more shots on Brentford goal, but we knew they were a very good side. Renosa says, agree, Eric. When we gain possession, there is a panicked push forward as if we know that we won't create chances if the opponent gets back and we are unable to control the ball. Red flag tactics for me. Well, listen, I don't know if it's like necessarily the tactics itself. I think it's more of that we need to get the players. I think that comes more of like the developmental side in terms of coaching itself. I don't know if I would say it is necessarily the tactics, because I don't think that should be the tactics. But it has to come more of like the players need to be taught, and they need to learn, and they need to, develop the better patterns. They need to become a bit more instinctive. A lot of it is instincts. And that's one thing that I always agreed with Ruben when Ruben would say, but it's beyond Ruben. It's not Ruben's idea. He's not like the guy that came up with it. It's just a football sort of fact. The patterns, the plays and stuff like that, the routines that you do, the more you do them, the more you don't have to think about them. So the faster you could execute it, the better you should execute it, because it should come to you like you're breathing air. You don't think about it, you just do it. And that's sort of the level that we're not really at. We're still thinking on the ball. And I always agreed with that when Ruben had that criticism, and he was trying to say that he wanted to get, to a level where they're not thinking about it. But we're still there. So I don't know, necessarily maybe some of the players aren't good enough to develop that they can't hit that level, so we need better high level players. Maybe it's a combination, better high level players, better coaching, or but yeah, we need we need to figure out how we can get it to basically become like, they're breathing air. Because when you look, if you watch like a team like PSG or Bayern, that's sort of where I'm trying to hit on what I'm saying when Carrick has to take this team and add a couple more layers and make it a bit more advanced. That's what I'm looking for. Like these guys, like everything it's memorized. It's instinctive. They have the ball. They don't have to look. They don't look. They don't think. They get the ball. They pass it immediately. They pass it to the exact position. They know where everybody is. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. They're making the proper run. They're in the proper position. Those little things add up all over the pitch because you're moving the ball 1 to 2 seconds faster. You're 1 to 2 steps ahead of the opposition. It's giving you advantages all over the pitch. We're not there yet. Now, obviously, I think, it's a bit early for that. And Carrick is a less experienced, younger guy. So, you're comparing him to somebody, and I'm comparing him to, like, a team that has no financial problems, doesn't have the Glazers / Ineos as their owners. They have top of the line people in charge. They have the best, director of football, sporting director in the world. And then they have, one of the top managers in the world at their place. So obviously there's massive key differences there. Counterattacking is the main tactic. Yeah, right now it is. It is. It is. And I can understand why. Because we don't have... I still think to play a better... To play a bit better, to play a bit quicker, faster in the way that I was explaining, I do think we need some players that we don't currently have in the side. We're missing a few pieces to the puzzle. And the ones that we do have, they can't do it to the level you probably need to execute it flawlessly. So, we have to do, we got to use what we have, which is what people were asking basically Ruben Amorim to do when he was here. The ones that were against him, the ones that, didn't like him or whatever. They wanted him to change the system to fit the players, because we don't have the players to, they wanted the formation change and stuff like that. So we all getting that to a certain degree. If people don't like it, I think, don't be too mad at the manager or anything like that. It's more so that, we got to look to Ineos. They got to supply better supplies, essentially. Better players, higher quality. So, and this is their job coming up in the summer. So, Eric, this best win for a while? You think so? I don't think so. Eric, to take the focus off your consumption, I had a graveyard job Saturday. And I had 5 cups of coffee and a white monster 24 hours. Nice, dude. Nice, dude. You out there just ripping it. Ripping it. 5 cups of coffee and a white monster in 24 hours. My guy was juiced. My guy was juiced up out there at the graveyard shift. No, listen, graveyard shifts are if you're not used to it, dude. I mean, like, listen, I could probably do a graveyard shift because I have a problem with sleeping at night. So, I'm like nocturnal. So I could probably do it, but if you're not used to that, man, and you like to go to sleep, or you go to sleep earlier and stuff like that, dude, you try to do graveyard shift, man, you need like 5 cups of coffee and a white monster just to get through it. So Simon's here. Greetings. Just got back from the pub. Missed the match. How was it? It was alright. It was alright. It was alright. It wasn't bad. Like, we got the 3 points. We got the win. We scored 2 good goals. We were a bit lucky in some circumstances, Simon, because we did get exposed a little bit, and Brentford had, I think they hit the post at one point. They might have hit the crossbar at another point, I think. So they had like 5 in the match at the minimum. They had 5 very, very, very excellent chances to score sort of easy goals, and they didn't. And the goal that they did score was probably the hardest goal out of all the chances that they scored from, because it was more long range. There was bodies in the way. You had to hit it a certain way which he did to score. So listen, overall, I mean, at the end of the day, we got 3 points. Another good result. Another good step forward, which is ultimately all that sort of matters. And we've been able to sort of sustain this. I think Carrick has like 9 wins now or something like that. So, but, yeah, listen, when we go play Liverpool next week, we're going to have to step it up 100%. I'm telling you now. You can say Brentford's a good team and you think that this was a good performance or whatever. We put this performance in against Liverpool. We're not walking away with a win. I'm telling you now, you're not walking out of there. I don't care if we're at home or we're playing at Anfield, but obviously we're at home, but I don't care. You're not walking away with 3 points with this performance that we saw today. If we copied and pasted this performance against Liverpool, we're not walking away with 3 points from the game. So we're gonna have to step it up. We're gonna have to step it up next week. We're gonna have to turn up a notch or two. We can't do this against Liverpool. So victory over Liverpool and defeat for Villa, then it's virtually sealed. I'm pretty sure we just need 2 points, huh? $63. If we get 63 and Brighton win, that'd be 53. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, we need 2 points, right? I'm doing the math correctly. We have 61. If we get 2 points, that's 63. Brighton are in 6th with 50. So, I mean, we can't even get 2 points because we have to draw 2 games. But, yeah, essentially, if we got just 2 points somehow, we'd have 63. They'd have 50. 53 if you give them a win. There'll be 10 points off. That'll be 35 games. And there's 3 games left, which is 369. They can't catch us. So, yeah. So, really, we need a win to give us 3 because you can't get 2 in one match. So, 2 draws. But, yeah. We just need one more win. We need one more win. But listen, where we are right now, okay? Like, sure, mathematically we'll be secured and stuff. Like, we can't drop out of 5. But we have to finish 3rd. We have to finish 3rd. We have to finish 3rd. Because, like, for me, we've already... I know we haven't actually done it yet, but we've gotten UCL. Like, we're not going to bottle UCL. But for me now, it's not about UCL. UCL, we've done it. We've accomplished it. Okay, he's done that bit. But now the focus for me, it's got to shift more to we got to finish 3rd. If we finish 5th, it's a massive disappointment for me. You know what I mean? If we blow the position that we're in, it's a massive disappointment for me. We should not drop down to 5th and secure the Champions League from there. Okay, we've been in 3rd. And we've been up here for quite a while now, and we've been on a really good run. It would be a very disappointing, and it would be a shame with 4 matches left in the season to go from 3rd and finish the season in 5th. So my ultimate goal that I would like the lads to accomplish and Carrick is make sure you get us to finish as high as possible in this table, which is 3rd because of the way things are going. I mean, mathematically, can you catch City? Yeah, but I mean, they're not gonna lose their last. They're not gonna lose 5 matches in a row to allow us to catch up to them. So, who scored our goals? Uncle Casemiro and then Benjamin Sesko. Cas scored from a very good set piece. From a corner. We had a corner. Bruno put it in, sort of back post, but outside of the 6-yard box to Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire redirected the header back across to the front post where Cass got to it, and he headed it and scored. So it was actually a very good set piece corner kick goal. And then Sesko scored. Kind of a bit of a tap in, but not really, because we got the ball. It was a bit of a counter attack, and it was Bruno and Buemo to his right, Sesko to his left. Bruno drove straight down the middle with the ball, and Buemo was wide open on the right. Sesko was a little bit more marked, and I thought he was going to give it to Mbumo, but he didn't, and he ended up giving it to Sesko inside of the box. Sesko took a nice first touch, went past the defender inside the box, and then finished it near post with the goalkeeper literally 2 feet away from him. So he blasted it. And the speed with the strength of the kick that he did, the goalkeeper couldn't get a finger to it. It just went by him way too quickly. So it was a good finish. It was a good take. Natasha says, good night, everyone. Good night, Natasha. Sleep well. That missed the match because the bar staff wouldn't put it on. What kind of bar staff is that, man? What, they wouldn't put it on? You gotta go to a different pub, bro. You go to a pub and you ask them politely and nicely to put the game on, and they didn't put the game on for you. What did they have on? What did they have on in there? UK Gold? What were they watching? What else was going on at this time that they're not gonna put the game on? Did you go to were you at a city bar? were you at were you at a Liverpool pub or something? How are they not putting the game on for you, Simon? What was that? What is that? There's no way. That's a disgrace. When I finally fell asleep Sunday morning, the dreams were a little creepy. Yeah, that could happen too. Makes a change for the bees to be stung instead of us. Yeah. Yeah. That was gonna be the alternative name for the thumbnail. I was gonna put it bees stung, but I kind of felt like bees battered just sounds better. BB. Bees batted. Lucky's proud of my boys. Cass 8, Kobe 8.2, Harry 8, Bruno 7, Maz 7.5. We were looking for further improvements, Eric. Of course, always. We got to. We have to. Simon says 3 points would be better, and we can look forward to the draw for the Champions League. Well, yeah, I mean, we can't really get 2 points in one match anyway, so let's just... And we're playing Liverpool, so let's just do it. Let's just finish it, We're at home at Old Trafford versus Liverpool. Let's go get 3 points. Let's get a win. And we'll finish it. It's a 6-pointer. All right? We beat them. We're on 64. They'll be on 58. And there'll be 3 matches left in the season. And then hopefully Villa does us another favor, another shitty result for them, draw or a loss, to make it even better for us. And Brighton lose or some shit, or they tie, and even better, even better. So who would you choose as man of the match? I don't know, maybe Cass. I think Cass had a very good game today. I'd probably give it Cass. I think Heaven played well as well. I didn't really speak about Heaven, but I think Heaven played well today. Lenny Oro did come on the pitch for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or something. So he got back on. Obviously he was injured a little bit. He just came back. And Mason Mount got on the pitch for a little bit as well. We take it little by little with him. Shaw did come off, apparently, because he had a small injury or something like that. So we don't know, how bad that is. Many people still have PTSD from Shaw, so they'll say, he's gone, but we'll see. And I'll see if Carrick gave us an update about it in a couple minutes. Grafting performance, few players love it. Oh yes, listen, I'll always take it as well. Like, listen, sometimes you have to graft the results. You have to grind the results. We have been doing that, since he's come in. So, it's a good starting point. We're looking improved game further, Eric. No worries. Yep. Well, my worry is, are we gonna do it? My worry is like we got to do it. That's what I'm worried about. Like, I want us to do it. So hopefully we get there. Hopefully we get there. Somehow this match had 2-1 written all over it. This match, I mean, the way it went, could have had way more goals in it. Way more goals. Could have been easily like a 3-2. 3-3. For sure. For sure. See, I don't agree that we should won 3-0. I mean, they had 4 or 5 goals that I don't know how they didn't score from. At least one. And I think from the chances that they had, I would say, if I'm being very demanding, there's no way you don't score 2 goals out of the 5, 6 crazy chances that they had. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, wide open, throw on goal, nobody back there. Players wide open in the box, crosses coming in, nobody's challenging them. They're getting a free header in the middle of our box. They were just very wasteful. They were just very, they were bees without a stinger. Like, if they were more clinical, if they had better quality, you give those same opportunities to a team with better quality, better players, more clinical, they're scoring 2 to 3 of those goals for sure. They're going into the back of the net 110%. So, listen, it's good we won, but yeah. Chelsea dropped to 8th. They'll be lucky to get European football. Well, sucks for Chelsea, champions of the world, my ass. Bro, they're a mess over there. And this is what I'm saying too. Like, bro, we had fans at one point saying like, we got to do what Chelsea does. Like, if the manager doesn't work, just sack him. Just sack him, get the next guy, and then sack that guy. Oh yeah. How is that going for them? By the way, how well is that working for them? Because it's not working very well, is it? I mean, listen, they did it to a certain degree under Roman Abramovich, but it was different under Abramovich than the way they're doing it now. And the way they're doing it now, they're not finding success with it. So it's a mess. And also, we don't have the financials to do the way they're doing it either. So, no, we should not be copying the Chelsea model. The Chelsea model, so far, what they're doing, they haven't accomplished shit. Like they had Enzo Maresca, they got this guy. This guy, they tried to do what we did basically. He's sacked. That guy got sacked. They got this guy. I don't even know who this guy is who's in charge. He's like part of the staff or whatever. Like, what's he gonna do for you? So, but this is why we need to. This is why we need to really improve. Like a lot next season, because there are some things that are a bit fortunate for us this season, and you just don't know if you're going to get maybe as fortunate as you are again next season. You expect some things to change, things to be fixed, okay? So, Chelsea's in a mess, all right? Nobody knows what's necessarily going to happen with Arsenal, because if they lose the league, I mean, I would expect Arteta to get sacked, but maybe they don't sack him. If they do sack him, you don't know, what manager they're going to get. Did they get somebody that's sort of like elite? and you go, well, they just went from sort of a good team to now they're a whole lot scarier because it's not Arteta. It's actually somebody that's serious and can actually get over the line and stuff like that. You got what's going on at Liverpool. Is Slot actually going to stay? They're going to spend money. Pep's staying, and City's going to spend money. So, right now, there's some things that have played to our benefit this season. But, if we don't do our due diligence, if we don't do our job to strengthen ourselves as much as possible, and they do a better job of strengthening themselves, well, we're gonna find next season to be very tough, and we may end up in not a such a nice situation. So, Brentford have drawn their last 5 games. Yes, at least we have been spared Ugarte to jinx it. Well, yeah, he didn't touch the pitch today, so. I was a bit disappointed because I was kind of hoping we could see Shea Lacey. I mean, he was on the bench. I would have liked to see him get maybe like 10 minutes. I kind of felt like we needed him because I didn't like how we sort of went to the 5 back. And then, at one point we had Mount and Bruno sort of playing like, at one point they were playing left wing and right wing. Then they came inside a little bit more and they were playing like 2 number 10s. But I was like, I was like, well, we got a kid there. I was like, that kid will be direct. He'll run forward and stuff like that. I was like, maybe we should have put him on, but not today, I guess. Not today. Brentford, Mapuka says, men, we need a left wing next season, but Somerville and Diomande on my mind. Well, we do. I think, and we apparently are still looking to get one in, and we are clearly missing one, aren't we? We are. Again, we lose Cunha. I mean, we don't even really consider Cunha a winger, but he has been playing there. But I think most of us would probably maybe put Cunha somewhere else, even though he's been playing there. We got Diallo, we got Mbuemo, and then after that, we got nothing. So, we do have Shea Lacey, but he's not proven. He's a kid, and he's not ready to be leaned on so heavily to carry us. This is not, it's not ideal to do such a thing. I mean, like, look at Arsenal. They're using like that 16-year-old kid. It's like that's how bad it's gotten for you guys. You guys are supposed to win the league. You're using a 16-year-old. You're leaning heavy on him now, because your offense isn't firing and he can't score goals. So now they're begging and pleading a 16-year-old kid to do some shit that the men who get paid a lot more money than that kid and have a lot more experience can't do, but now they want some 16-year-old to do a miracle for them, and I never liked those situations. I never liked those situations. So there's Shea, but I mean, Shea, we got to see what happens. We need somebody a little bit more, further ahead, somebody a little bit more ready, like instantly, that we can lean on a little bit more. We don't got that right now, so we're gonna have to go get him. Spurs finally get their one and only win with De Zerbi in the Prem. West Ham need to win their game and keep Spurs in the bottom 3. I still think they'll get relegated. Spurs, I don't see them. City will win the next game and go back to the top table. I don't think City will lose a game for the rest of the season. I don't think they'll drop points for the rest of the season. So, I don't see that. No, we don't need cup finals named after City. Don't give them bad ideas, Simon. Would you keep the same team for the Liverpool game or slightly juggle it? I think you have to keep the same team. I think the only thing is Mateus Cunha is going to come back in. Because I expect him to be fit. So I think Cunha will come back in, and either Mbuemo or Diallo will go to the bench. One of them. So, and I think from today's performance, like, I don't think and Bum was a bit disappointing in a lot of. He wasn't horrible, but he just wasn't like he could do way better. So between them two, from what I saw today, I would say there's not a lot much of a difference in the performance. They really left it sort of lacking and desiring more. So one of them is gonna have to miss out. But I think there's you. I don't think you can. I don't think you can start any match, especially next match. I don't think you can start it much different because of what we have. I mean, I like Heaven. I think Heaven's done well. I think Heaven's a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident than Lenny is. So I think Heaven should stay. And if Leach is not back, Maguire's gonna have to play. There's nobody else really there. We have our left back, we have our right back. There's not much you could do there. The center of the pitch, we don't have a better midfield to do besides Casemiro and Kobe, so it's got to be them. You got to have Bruno in there, of course. And the attack is the attack. So there's really not much to say. There's not really anything to really change because the other options, it's not like, oh yeah, like that's a good shout. Like they're gonna make some big difference. I don't see it in them. I think we're playing our best team, and that's what we got. So we got to go with what we got, and what we got is just sort of barely enough for now. For now it's enough. For next season it won't be, and we need more. But apparently Salah will not feature in the game against us. Really? Why is that? Why is that? I do want to do some of the quotes though. Why is Salah not playing against us? I do want to do some of the reactions surrounding the match from the wider fan base. So, I looked at the BBC football website before going to the pub, and our bench looked strong if you don't count Ugarte. Maybe. I mean, I guess it's up to personal preference, but in my opinion, Simon, it's not. I don't have the same feeling when I look at that bench. I don't. That bench leaves a lot more to be desired. Okay? Listen, I like Maz, but defensive options, right back, whatever, decent option. I like Lenny. Mount can add something. For me, Xerxes, he doesn't do it. He came on for Sesko, but I don't know. It was Sesko needed maybe Sesko was tired or whatever. It was very late. Maybe it was to waste time. Whatever it was. I mean, Xerxes came on. There wasn't a lot of time. He didn't really do anything. But I don't really rate him like that for what we need. I don't rate him as the striker. Being there is just a goalkeeper. Malacia is literally there as a placeholder. He's useless. Dorgu was there, but Dorgu just came back from injury. Then there's Shea Lacey, and then there's Ugarte. So it's like, I don't know. I look at the bench, and I'm just like, if we need something to change the game, if we need like somebody that we can sort of count on, that we say, you know what, excellent quality, and they can definitely be a difference maker, and they're gonna come and take the game by the balls. A lot of those players don't do it for me. I just look at that bench and I say, it's sort of average, and we're missing one or two players where you look to that bench and you go, you know what? If this guy and this guy don't do good today, or they don't have a good game, get those guys in, because you know that they're going to come on and they'll probably make up for it, and they'll have a huge impact. We don't really have that. We don't really have that. I mean, Ugarte's got to go. Malacia, again, useless, and he's got to go. That's two players out of the bench. We got a kid that's not really proven, so he's there, so you can't really count on him too much, but I have high hopes for him. Dorgu just came back from injury, so, once he's fully fit, okay, decently good option. For me, Xerxes got to go. Mount, I think Mount can be good, but again, we have the issue with Mount in that this guy can't stay fit, so he's like not really reliable, but I liked when Mount came on. I think, he's a creative guy. He can help in areas. The problem is his fitness. It's hard to really rely on Mason Mount like that when he can go at any time, and also because he could go at any time and he gets injured, you then get limited amount of minutes of how much he can play, because it's like, I think we're still managing his minutes. So he came on in the 75th minute. I would have, I think in the way that match went, you need you needed Mount coming on in like the 60th minute. I don't know if Mount can give us 30 minutes because of, the way he is. So, I would have Sesko on the bench and bring him on when the time is right. Sesko finally ended his goal drought. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to need Sesko for that Liverpool match. So, in the words of Han Solo, I had a bad feeling about the game. Brentford usually score first. Well, they didn't today. I looked at one of the sites a couple days ago that the Lit was doing light training. Well, hopefully, but he's not going to... I have no hopes for him making it back for this season. So, they've reported that quite numerous amount of times. If he does make it back, that's great. And obviously, I'll welcome him back. But I don't... Listen, he do light training. I don't think he's going to make it back. So, it's unfortunate, but we'll probably just see him next season, and hopefully whatever issues he's got, hopefully he finds a way to be able to take care of it so that this sort of thing doesn't happen again next season, because we're going to need him. And, we need him. We need him. So, but a couple of quotes, couple of reactions. Gary Neville, Bruno Fernandes, probably Michael Carrick, and some others, all right? So speed run these stuff that we're going to do. Gary Neville on Carrick changing the formation. He said, I think the Manchester United fans understood what he was doing in that second half. It was a sensible move to make. I think that Michael Carrick would have wanted them to play better football in the second half and score goals on the counterattack, but they got over the line. The most important thing tonight ahead of Liverpool on Sunday was just to be in a place of risk-free. Manchester United are in the Champions League now. They're there. It's just not going to be taken away from them. So they can go into this Liverpool game with a little bit of freedom, knowing that the pressure is off. I mean, yeah, listen, I agree with Gary there. Again, I obviously jokingly was saying sack Michael Carrick because he played a 5-back in the second half at Old Trafford, tongue-in-cheek, because that's what people were saying about Ruben. Yeah, I mean, I again, for me, I think that's a Steve Holland influence more than a Michael Carrick decision. I think if you're looking for a positive, I guess the dynamic is good. He listens to his assistant. He trusts his assistant, and it goes vice versa. So, but I think that was obviously a Steve Holland plan, a Steve Holland idea, and Carrick went along with it on there because they were looking for an answer. We were getting a bit exposed. We needed, 2-0 is a bit of a dangerous scoreline. And we did need to shore it up and close down the spaces, which to some degree, it did have that effect. They ended up scoring one goal very late on. They still had some opportunities, and, we didn't end up getting the third and stuff like that. But like Gary said, we did get over the line. And we did give ourselves a bit of a cushion as well. Like, if we go to play this match against Liverpool, we have a bit more of a cushion. We could probably have a bit more freedom. A little bit less pressure in that regard, because if it's tighter and there's a higher implication to it, the nerves can creep in, the pressure can creep in. We could be a little bit more comfortable and confident now going into this match. So, don't be careless, but we got the job done, and we put ourselves in a very great position. And the end of the day, that's all you could really ask for. So, by the way, if you're keeping track, Bruno Fernandes is on 19 assists. So he's one away from tying De Bruyne and Thierry Henry for most Premier League assists in a season. and he needs 2 more to break the record. So I think he'll do it. I think he's gonna do it. I've been saying he's gonna do it. I believe in him, and yeah, I mean, listen, he's got 4 matches to get 2 assists, so I think he'll do it. I think he'll do it with ease. And you know what? He deserves it, and I hope he does it. So his name goes there, and it's there for, forever or for a while or whatever it is. I mean, records are there; they're meant to be broken. So I would assume somebody will come along and break it at some point. But hopefully, it's there for a very long time. And at the very least, he's done very excellently in that department, and I would like for him to break the record. I think he deserves that, for sure. Gary Neville on Carrick also saying, I think he's proven that he's been agile in games. I mean, if Brentford had got level, he'd come under an enormous amount of criticism for going to that system. In hindsight, after a few minutes, said that this is working. United's compactness wasn't as good as it should have been in that first half, and Michael Carrick will have seen that, and he'll have thought, right, okay, I can't take that risk. One thing that I did want to say that I didn't say is, and I was thinking about this during the match, and I just saw a picture of Cass, so it kind of just popped back into me because somebody's making a post saying, Casemiro, please stay. And what I will say is, and I said this a couple times before, but I'll say it again because it's hitting home more and more now. Bro, Ineos really need to not fuck around with this midfield rebuild. They really need to not fuck around with this, because the shit that Casemiro is doing for us in this final season, like, I actually don't want him to go. Like, I would like to actually keep him, like, for another season. Like, if I had full control, I'd offer him another year. I don't give a shit. I don't care if people are gonna get mad at me about the wage or whatever. I don't fucking care. I would offer him another season. I would. Because to replace what he's giving us, I'm telling you now, I can feel it. We're gonna be in the midst of next season, and we're gonna be like, fuck, we miss Casemiro, man. I'm telling you now, to replace what he's given us is so extremely hard to do. And it's not going to happen in next season. So I don't know. They're going to have to try and compensate to fill that void as much as possible. I don't think you can actually fully do it. Like, straight away. Maybe in the longer term. Maybe like after a season or two or whatever. After gels, develops, whatever. But what he's been giving us, he's leaving a massive void. It's leaving a massive void. And if these guys think that they can just go fuck around and, cheap out and do some have my cake and eat it too bullshit in this midfield and think it's going to work swimmingly for them, they're going to fuck us monumentally. So, to me, this is like, it's super serious. Super serious. This is not a place to get complacent, to fuck about. This to me is it means a lot. It has a huge impact. The void that he's going to leave, if we don't do some serious move to try and mitigate the impact of the loss that Casemiro is going to leave us with in that midfield, and they half-ass it, we're going to have a very, very rough time next season. It's not going to be a good time. It's not going to be a good time. So, for me, I'd give him another 1-year contract. It's never going to happen. It's done. But, personally, me, I'd have Maino. I'd give Cass another year. Okay? I'd get rid of Ugarte. I'd go buy 2 midfielders. Let's roll. We're good to go. And go buy 2 good quality midfielders. we're good to go. Next season, Cass leaves, we buy one more guy, we have our 4. And we're good to go. That's the way I would have done it. That's the way I would do it. But I don't necessarily like the situation that we're in. Okay, they're leaving us with a bit of a hole. Okay, I don't rate Ugarte. I don't think he's not versatile enough. He doesn't work for us. In my opinion, he's got to go. Cass is leaving. We have one midfielder. We're gonna need to buy 3. I don't trust these guys to buy 3. I don't know why. I just have a feeling here that it's like they're gonna get 2, and I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna come up with some half-baked, half-assed plan. They're gonna turn Mount into the 4th, or I don't know what they're gonna do with that. But I just think personally, I wouldn't have let Cass go. I don't give a shit if he's on 340,000 a week or whatever it is. Keep him for another year. What's the big fucking deal? I would have gave him a 1-year contract extension. I'd have had Kobe. I would have got rid of Ugarte because obviously he can't do what Cass gives us, and he ain't nowhere near that level, and he ain't nowhere near Kobe. And go buy 2 midfielders. You keep this guy is experienced and is a champion. You have Kobe, who's young and fresh, and you have 2 brand new guys that are going to have to get accustomed to life at Manchester United. And you roll with it that way. And I think that's probably the best possible setup you can set yourself up for. We're clearly not going down that path. So I'm a bit concerned. Because I think it's massive. And I think if they fuck it up in the slightest way, I think we're going to have it's going to cause a massive issue for our season. And it could possibly just derail the whole thing. And I don't want to see that. But, it is concerning for me. So they got a massive task on their hand. And, if they think that they're just gonna, it's kind of like the vibe. You ever just do something just to do it because it's like being asked of you to do it, or like, you don't really want to do it. So you're like, yeah, I'll just do it just to do it. So you don't give your best effort, or you don't really give a shit, like you don't really give a shit how good the quality is. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting right now with these guys. Like, I don't think they're rating the way I'm rating this midfield situation going on. I think I kind of feel like these guys are like, listen, we'll do something where it kind of looks good. We'll hype it up to make it sound better than it actually is. And we'll have our cake and eat it too. And then, like, we'll do something where we can pass it off as good enough, and we'll pass it off as great. Like, we'll do something that's good enough, and we'll pass it off as something great or amazing. And when you do that, there's always a chance that it goes to shit. Because if you're on the borderline of good and bad, I'd rather be way above the borderline of good and bad. I'd rather actually do something that's actually really great, because you're further away from the shit. So, what else we got here? Cass, I think he was crying a little bit after the match. He also kissed the badge, so we love you, Uncle Cass. We love you, Uncle Cass. Thank you for, again, I think as far as a farewell tour goes, I don't think you could have a better farewell tour. He's done phenomenal for us. So, and he loves this club. And he's made that abundantly clear. And, he's another one of these guys. Like, listen, he's sort of a Real Madrid. He won everything at Real Madrid. Won everything. I think Cass is going to be one of these guys. He's going to be like Schweinsteiger. Like, had a full career, won everything at Madrid. He'll leave Manchester United in 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, whatever. Like, you'll see Cass talking about United. You'll see Cass at the games. Like, you'll see him watching us on TV, putting up like an Instagram post supporting us. Like, you won't see him doing it to like full Madrid. You'll see him doing it for us. It's the same thing. Schweinsteiger does the same shit. He never posts about Bayern Munich. Not that I know of, not that I've seen, but he's always posting, cheering us on, watching us from the TV and shit. So yeah. Michael Carrick here saying we got two fantastic results. Now it's results business time of the season. Absolutely is. He said to get the amount of wins we have, we're delighted with that. It was all about the 3 points tonight. We've got a big game at the weekend. Absolutely. Anybody watching that's new, if you want to support us, please make sure you're smashing the like button because it is a massive help. We don't just say that just to say it. Okay, it does mean a lot and it matters a lot, so get that done. And also, if you're new, don't be shy. Get involved in the comments. Give us, who was your man of the match tonight, or any other sort of opinion or thoughts that you got. Far away. Everybody's got a voice here. So Michael Carrick also said. Michael Carrick has cast doubt on any chance of Casemiro staying at Manchester United beyond this period. When asked if the situation was settled, he said, yeah, it's pretty clear. From both sides, it's pretty clear. I mean, listen, we can all hope, but there's no chance. They've made it quite clear. Cass has made it clear. United has made it clear. There's no U-turn happening here. There's no U-turn happening here. As much as we would like a U-turn and as much as there's still the opportunity per se for a U-turn, it's just not happening, unfortunately. But it's done. It is what it is. Decision is made. I think he's made his peace with it, and the club has made their peace with it. And I don't think either one of them are sort of, people to just change because of a feeling. You know what I mean? So. But Cass was man of the match. He was my man of the match. He was the official man of the match. Jamie Carragher, here we go, on Sky Sports, talking about Michael Carrick, saying he's going to be Manchester United's manager next season, no doubt about that. I don't think anybody could have come and done any better. And probably not. I mean, if you look at, who was probably available for us to get at the time, and what Carrick's done, I think any of the guys that you may be able to list that are realistic, of course, and I would probably tell you there's no way they have the record and get the amount of points that Michael Carrick has gotten since he's come in. And also, I think, listen, we're at a position like with the more points we get and the more wins we get and the better we're looking in the table and securing Champions League, like week by week, it's getting harder to come up with a reasoning to say, thank you, Carrick, for what you've done, but we're like literally going to move away from all of this and start completely over again and go fresh with somebody else, and or maybe hope that they pick up the pieces where you left off, but we're going to just go in a different direction with a different guy. To me, it's very hard to do that because I can understand, listen, Carrick doesn't have the experience, like he's not Ancelotti or he's not Luis Enrique, and maybe we need somebody that's, on that level or whatever. Can we even get somebody on that level as of right now? I don't even know. But to me, it's just it's a bit hard to, it's like we've started this thing, whatever it may be under Carrick. We started this thing in January, and it's gone very well, and it feels very weird to just go, well, that's gone quite well, so let's just throw it out and we'll start again. And it doesn't feel sort of right to throw it out. I mean, at this point, it's kind of just like, I mean, what do we really have to lose? Really? I mean, last season we ended in 15th. The season before that we ended in 8th. We weren't in the Champions League this season. We're back in the... What do we got to lose with going with Carrick? Fuck it. We might as well do it, see what happens. If it fails, it fails. There's no guarantee that we're going to get the... If we don't bring in Carrick and we bring in somebody else, there's no guarantee that they're going to do good. They could come in and they could be sacked in 3 months. If they're shit, and it all goes to, it goes horribly wrong, which it could very well do, because, this is life in football and shit happens. Like, we could say goodbye to Carrick at the end of the season. Thank you for everything. Go hire the manager of your dreams. We put him in, and 3 to 4 months in, we are absolutely just fucking garbage. and he gets sacked. And then we're just sitting there and like, fuck. Well, we just had a good thing and replaced it with a very bad thing, and now we're just kind of sitting here. You know, what do we do? Call Carrick back up? Well, what if he's at a job then? Because I don't think Carrick's going to stay unemployed, especially after this. You know, he's come here. He's at United. There's definitely people watching him. Is he going to go to like a top club? Maybe not, but he'll definitely have people fucking lining up for him to get a job offer. So, you know. What else do we got? I'll get to the chat in a second. I see you guys chatting away. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just I'm getting some points across, and I just want to get onto some things from you know, online. Michael Carrick and Bruno Fernandes being in contention for the Player of the Year's awards. He deserves it. He absolutely does. I'll tell you this right now. If it wasn't Bruno Fernandes and it was some other guy and he played for some other team, everybody would be up his ass. The media and all this shit, it's, you know, it's different because he's Bruno and he plays for United, and basically everybody hates us. But you know, he's doing basically the same shit that De Bruyne did, and I can remember the media lived up De Bruyne's ass. Like every second that they could take, it's fucking De Bruyne this, De Bruyne that, and he's a god and he's this and that. And it's because he played for City, and you know, they and you know, so yeah. I mean, like, I saw they were trying to say Declan Rice at one point. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. This is not even close, bro. Not even close. Bruno right now is like in the top 3 of midfielders, the way he's performing right now. The shit that he's getting done on the pitch. Michael Carrick said on the halftime change, he said, we were going to make it anyways. There were certain spaces we needed to cover a bit better, and it had a good effect. It was purely tactical, which is what I knew. And there was no other reason for it. It was always just tactical. Maguire said, I think it's a good thing that the coach realized the team's difficulties and we changed tactics in the second half, and it was much more comfortable. Well, listen, the most important thing is he did it, and we got the job done, which is we got 3 points. We won the match. So, you know, he makes that change. We win. It's all fine. He made that change and we didn't get 3 points. Then obviously it's a bad move. You know, he's an idiot, and, you know, it is what it is. So, when it comes to Ugarte's last game, I would like to give him the bird, LOL, and the same with Onana and the rest of the players who need to go. Well, Onana will never play for us, so you can't give him the bird. But, you know, Brady, a very happy man tonight. Of course he is, like the rest of us. He just wants to see us win, and you know, his former player out there, you know, like his former. It's like his son almost, you know, out there managing us, and you know, these guys in a good position. So, certain players may not be able to conform with the next manager if it's not Carrick. I don't know what Carrick has, but you could bottle it and make a fortune. LOL. Do we start selling Carrick Air on the channel? We'll sell glass bottles filled with air that surrounds Michael Carrick. We'll charge about you know, £69.99 pounds. £69.98. £69.97. Good price. Michael Carrick, we told, be flexible, tactical change, get Mazawari, Lenny Euro straight. He did 51 minutes. I am glad we aren't Chelsea. They got rid of many managers every 3 to 4 months, and they'll get rid of many more managers every 3 to 4 months. So I'm glad we're not Chelsea either, my friend. I do not want that model. That model is shit, and people are crazy that they think that that is a good model to follow. It's literally hasn't yielded any fucking results. Oh, they won the Club World Cup. Who gives a shit about the Club World Cup? What is the Club World Cup, bro? I was given a present by my sister, and it's framed picture of Bruno with his full name and date of birth. It will stay on my wall unless he leaves. He's born August 10th, 1994, isn't he? Right? August 4th, 1994? No. What the fuck? September 8th, 1994. Oh, Delit is August 10th. But yeah, me and Bruno are the same age. I'm a month older than him, so I'm his father. And he's my son. No, that's Delit. Delit is August 10th, is it not? Or is Delit the same day as my birthday? One of them has yeah, Delit. Me and Delit share a birthday, so but I'm 5 years older than Delit, so but same day, but I'm 5 years older than him. I could have swore one of our players has a birthday on August 10th. It was like 2 days before mine. And they were born in the same year, but um time to get the double over the Scousers, yes. It's gonna be a great recap. Bruno was born 8th September 94, yeah. Yeah. That would be a nice cap to the season. Do the double over Liverpool. We've beaten Chelsea away. We've beaten Liverpool away, obviously. We've beaten Arsenal away. Spurs get relegated. We laugh at them. Chelsea finish outside of Europe. We laugh at them. I would have liked, and hopefully kind of still possible, for Liverpool to not get in the Champions League. That would be great. A lot of good things can still happen. So hopefully we have some stuff. Then obviously we just have to deal with either City or Arsenal winning the league, which is the only shitty part. But nothing we could do about that. So I don't know why. I think we did get an update from Fabrizio about midfielders, so a little bit of transfer news. Elliot Anderson, Manchester City lead with positive contract talks and a big offer planned. United still love him, will fight to the end, and expect to sign 2 to 3 midfielders amid Casemiro Garte exits, but no progress yet as Forest fight relegation and refuse sales talks. Sandro Tonali stays on United's shortlist as a long-tracked target. It would be very expensive, so United must manage their budget carefully while pursuing multiple midfield signings and avoiding crazy spending. Carlos Baleba. Baleba is on the shortlist with personal terms agreement from the summer 2025 still valid. He remains very keen, especially with Champions League on the horizon, now more affordable, down to 90 to 100 million pounds. Down from 90 to 100 million pounds, which is the fee that Brighton wanted last year. He's a realistic lower cost option for United's midfield rebuild. And that's coming from Fabrizio Romano. Literally like about 40 minutes ago. So there you go. You got a little bit of everything today. 3 points, win at Old Trafford. Half a step away from 100% securing UCL. You got a Sesko goal, an Uncle Cass goal, an Uncle Cass man of the match performance, and you got a midfield update from Fabrizio Romano. Keith Andrews, if somebody wants to help me understand exactly what he means by this, and maybe I'm just an idiot, but I don't really. I think I know what he's saying, but I don't. Keith Andrews on Manchester United, he said, I think people make a lot of what they are now from what they were. Is he trying to say that we haven't improved a whole lot? Is he trying to say that we're making it bigger than it actually is? Because if that's what he's saying, I actually can't hate on him because I literally said that shit an hour ago. In the beginning of the show, I was literally saying the same thing. So if that's what he's saying, I agree with him. I'm not going to hate on him. I'm not going to hate on him at all. So we have beaten virtually all the big sides and slipped up against relegation threatened sides. Yep. Stones is leaving City. Would you have him on the list? No, no. He's injury prone. He's old. I would not. Tushimani, we will fit very nicely. Mateus Fernandez coming in. We'll see what happens. Before Simmons was crocked, he was on our radar, but now we are spared him. If he wasn't injured, would you sign him or stay away from Spurs players? I mean, I don't have a problem necessarily with going with players from Spurs if they're. It depends what player. Just because they're Spurs players, I don't think really matters. Their team is not put together well, and their club is shit. But there's a couple players there that listen. You can get them and put them in a different team, and I'm sure they'll do just fine. You know, I think the team as a whole, as a collective, Spurs, the way they put it together and what they did with the managing decision, I think the club as a whole is shit. But I think you can cherry pick a couple players out of that squad, put them in another squad, and I think they'll be just fine. So I think if you take Van de Ven and put him in a different team, I think he'll be fine. I think if you take Xavi Simmons was good before he went there. He's at Spurs. Spurs are a shit team. One guy or two guys ain't gonna save an entire sinking ship. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna keep it afloat. If you take them out of a bad environment and a shitty place, they could probably produce for you. So, yeah, Simmons is done though. He tore his ACL, which is unfortunate for the kid. Unfortunate for the kid to do such a thing. Benjamin Fesco said, "Thank you, Captain." He said, "Bruno Fernandez and I work a lot in training, and it is paying off. Knowing I have a teammate with his quality is a pleasure, and I have to use it. That's good. That's good. We need good chemistry, good relationships, good understanding, especially between players like Bruno Fernandez and Sesko. You know, so the better the rapport between the two, the better chemistry, the better it is for our team in a whole. And that is the one thing that I do kind of like about the team we have now. And I think I have to give, I spread the credit a little bit. I give the credit to Ineos. I give the credit to Ruben as well, because sort of they kind of went together at the same time. I think the dynamic of the team in terms of chemistry and even attitude and even mentality, I think has come a decently good way. I won't say has come a long way, because I think there's still, it can still go higher, but I think it's come a good way. I actually like a lot from what I see from the group of lads. I like the way they interact with each other. I like the way that I like the chemistry. It gives off a good vibe. There was many a times iterations of teams I saw that I remember doing lives, and I remember doing reactions after the match, and I would constantly complain. We would go into games, we look like we never played a game of football with each other. We look like we just linked up for the first time and everybody's a bunch of strangers and we're on the pitch. These guys don't give that vibe. They look a lot more together. They look a lot more like they understand each other on some sort of a personal level a lot more, which I think is important for the chemistry, obviously, which translates to the pitch. When you're off of the pitch and you have good chemistry, it's going to translate onto the pitch. They don't have to be best friends. They don't got to go out with each other, for dinner, with their misses on the weekend. But there's got to be a certain level of understanding, a certain level of respect. And I think that I think that has improved with this current group of players, this sort of ecosystem we have. So I got to give credit to Ineos for that, because they've signed, a bunch of these players and put this team together. I think Ruben gets a bit of credit for that, because I always say, listen, we finished 15th and the results and performances were very harsh and very bad at times, and it was for a long period, but they never downed tools on him in the way that we've seen managers get their back turned on them and players downing tools on them. They never really gave up in that sense. They weren't very good, but they never gave up on him or each other. Um, so I think that says a lot, and I think he was part of that because he was the manager and he was coaching them as well. So there's no need to watch out for any DVDs about Tottenham's league titles. It's as rare as an honest MP. It's as rare as a DVD itself. Basically doesn't exist. So yeah. Um, what else do we got? Yeah, I can confirm. Casemiro was in tears after the game as the fans applauded him. Um, and again, it's just like, dude, the experience, the quality, the class, the passion, and just him being a leader. We are 110. I don't give a shit who you sign. We're going to miss him next season. The job of Ineos is to fill it. So we, really, it's how much are we going to miss him? Are we going to miss him a whole lot? Or are we going to miss him a little bit? That's their job. That's one of their tasks that they got to complete. Because their job, in my opinion, their job is to fill that void. So we're not there having a 4.5 month conversation about how our midfield is fucked and we miss Casemiro and we're fucked without Casemiro. That to me is like the number one priority, number one job. There might be like an instance, maybe we do a month, but like, fuck, I wish we had Cass, and then we sort of get over it and move on. But if you fuck it up monumentally and you don't do it to the best of the club's ability to patch that hole, to fill that void as much as possible, maybe you fill it halfway, maybe you fill it 3/4 full. We miss him just a little bit at a few times next season. You don't want to be sitting there and for 4.5 months, our whole fan base is having a conversation talking about, fuck, I wish we had Casemiro. We're so fucked without him, man. I wish he was here. I wish he was here. Because if that's happening, that means that we're screwed. So you can never make a film about Spurs. Well, you could make a film about Spurs. It just wouldn't be a very good. It wouldn't be a very positive one. Need a long list of people to play the managers. Bayern are offering Kane a new contract as he has done wonders under company. Listen, makes sense. I mean, the guy is up for Ballon d'Or contention. Fuck his wage and his age, what he's produced on the pitch. Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Makes sense. We're getting Baleba. Wrap up, sell Xerxes straight away, sorting Mateus Fernandez or João Gomez, sell Manuel Ugarte, 34.3 million by Tuchemani. Well, listen, I don't know what we're doing, so we'll see what happens. It's still way far too early, so probably we'll get Baleba, but past that, I don't know. I mean, I do expect Ugarte, and I would expect Xerxes to go. But they do tend to pivot or surprise us, these guys. So they don't always do everything straightforward. So no doubt in the future we could be playing against Casemiro. No, I think he's going to like MLS or something, so we won't be playing against Casemiro. Eric, I'm quickly pushing second signing Mateus Fernandez. Listen, I like Mateus Fernandez, but I don't know. I don't know how much the club is going to move on that immediately. So, has anyone got raffle tickets for Ugarte? Nah, he's just gonna go. He's just gonna go. He's just gonna go. Listen, we're gonna get a decent fee for Manuel Ugarte. Don't make any mistake about that. Like, you don't have to rate him or anything. You don't have to like him. But listen, we're gonna get a decently good fee for him. We'll probably get like 30 million or something, 25. For sure. There's some decent interest in him. Miguel Galatasaray is a big one. There's a couple of Serie A clubs. So best believe you may hate him and you might give him away for free, but we ain't giving him away for free. We're gonna get some money for him. We're gonna recoup some of that fee, which is very good. So, yeah. Somebody said fantastic result, but yet again, it's a grinding out result over any real hint of performance. Hard to see what next season will be like with double the amount of games playing like this and without Casemiro. It is a bit of the concern, and again, this is what I was saying. And if you're wondering who said that, I probably won't tell you, but I will tell you. But sometimes I just like to read. I just like to read the tweet without naming the person because people are funny. If I mention the name, they'll disagree with it or hate on it. And if I don't mention the name because they don't know, because because if you like the person, you'll agree with it. If you don't like the person, you'll be against them. So I tend to just read what they say instead of saying who it is. But I mean, I said similar thing. So, I mean, listen, it's a good result. Positive, plus 3 points. It was a bit of a grinding out, and we've done that a few times, which I don't necessarily have a problem because I think at points during the season, you do need that shit. So I'm not as negative on it as maybe Derek or worried about it as this person is saying, because I sort of look at other teams that have won leagues, like that, where like, dude, they grinded out games 1-0 and, they weren't the better teams in the games and they didn't deserve to win, but they did win and they did it for a bunch of games throughout the season and ultimately they ended up winning the title. So I think that's a normal part of football. I do think that it is, quite all right to be a bit skeptic and worry a bit for next season, because again, next season is it's a different season. Double the amount of games. We're going to be playing higher quality, harder teams as well. Bigger matches. There's going to be a lot more stress on, the players' bodies specifically. It's going to be a lot more demanding. And, you do worry a little bit because it's like, well, I don't think that this can necessarily get you through that season like that. We're going to have to figure out moments, periods, times, a run for a certain amount of length where we're above this, where we're above grinding out results, where we're actually putting in high level real performances on a nice consistent run to get us somewhere at least. So we need a beast in the midfield. We need somebody that's more versatile. I tell you that. We need somebody that's more versatile. We need somebody, again, you look at Cass, you look at Kobe, they're very balanced, I would say, in terms of they can do both sides. And they are doing both sides of the game. All right? They could be better in one area than the other area. Like, one could be better in attacking than defending, and the other one could be better in defending than attacking. But they're very balanced. And I think it's just very simple. Like, you look at Ugarte, the quality, or not even the quality, it's just, he's not very balanced. That's all it is. So I just think, listen, he could go somewhere and play in a different system that needs different needs, and he could be quite good. But it's not for us. Doesn't fit. We don't need that. We need somebody that's very balanced. They got to be able to go forward. They got to be able to defend. They got to be able to do both sides of the game. They got to be able to get on the ball and have an impact with the ball, whether it's passing, dribbling up, making a run. He doesn't do that. That's not his thing. He never did do that thing. That was never part of his game. He is just purely a defensive player, very limited in other areas. We don't have any real use for that. And it doesn't really work with our system that we're playing under Carrick. So that's all it is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised he goes to another team. Could be any team. He could go to another team if it fits the system and it fits what they need. He'll be fine. If we go at the Champions League, then we have Europa League football to look forward again. What do you mean? I don't think you drop down. You don't drop down anymore. If you go out of Champions League. I don't think they do that anymore. Under the new teams no longer drop, yeah. So no. If we go out of UCL, we got nothing to look forward to. We're done. That's it. Once you're eliminated, you're eliminated. Which is actually a good change. I always kind of thought that was quite stupid and actually unfair to the teams in the Europa League. So they're in the Europa League for a reason because they're a certain level, or they have a certain quality, and those teams should compete amongst themselves. And I always thought it was quite stupid that if you were good enough to get into the UCL but you got knocked out, you go into the Europa League because you're probably obviously better than 90% of the teams in the Europa League. So what are the teams that started off in the Europa League? What are they competing for? They fought and battled just so some team that wasn't good enough to do well in the Champions League drop in and then beat the shit out of all of them. It's like Sunday League, and you take a player that's like U15 and he's shit at U15, so you drop him down to you have him play in under 12s, and he just goes in there and starts battering all the fucking little kids because he's 3 years older than them. It was stupid. So I'm actually happy they did that. They shouldn't have that. I prefer the old system of Champions League football, not this new look. No, I am. I might be in the minority of this, but I like the new format. I think the new format is way better. I think it's way more entertaining. Yeah, I like it. I like it way better. I think it's opened it up. I think it's made the games better because the old system I didn't like playing the same three teams twice, home and away. It became a point where it was just the first match you play, the away team never wanted to play football because they don't want to. They want to save the point for the return leg, and the first matches nobody ever played, and then the second matches sometimes it would open up, and then also, you get in a group and you have one big match. The other two teams, they're small, they're shittier. They play a lot more defensive. It's not a great game of football like this. You play 8 different teams. One's home, one's away. There's more of an opportunity to play bigger teams. So it's a lot, for me, it's a lot more interesting. It's a lot more exciting. I like the table. I like that they don't drop down either. So I was always here for it. I knew it was coming when they introduced it. I was watching it. And I couldn't wait for them to do this because I knew I was going to enjoy it. So each time Ugarte puts a toe in the pitch, I worry, especially if we were winning. Damn. So, but listen, I think we're gonna end here. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's Champions League tomorrow, so we're not going to stream. because we don't stream on UCL days because I watch the match and everybody else wants to watch the match and nobody really wants to sit around and talking about the news that we get daily and everybody considers spin anyway, and doesn't really buy into it, but they want to talk about it and interact about it anyway. So tomorrow there's PSG Bayern at 8 p.m. UK, and there's Atletico and Arsenal the day after. So let me just take a look here, okay? Get your final thoughts and opinions into the chatty, all right? Hold on, let me just see real quick. I need to check schedule. I need to check the sketch. The sketch. Oh. Let me just see something here. Analytics. You know, YouTube tells me when you guys are online. I have analytics here. It tells me when my viewers are on YouTube, and it shows me the times. That's right. YouTube is spying on you. YouTube knows everything about you, your whole entire life. It knows when you eat. It knows when you go to take a shit. It knows literally everything, and you gave it all the permission to do so. It knows everything you do, every single little thing you do. Let me see. Monday, Tuesday. I mean, that's quite late. Listen, I think we just won't stream Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay? No streams Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll take off. We'll come back Thursday. All right? Regular time, 8:15 p.m. As far as I know right now, schedule is free and open, so I'll be able to do 8:15 p.m. Thursday, 8:15 p.m. Friday, and then we go from there. What day are we playing Liverpool? What day is our match? Is it Saturday? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Okay, so then yeah, so if my schedule stays the way it is right now and nothing changes, nothing Tuesday, nothing Wednesday. All right, we'll come back Thursday, 8:15 p.m. Anytime we go live, if there's no match, it's always 8:15 p.m. Thursday, we'll do the same for our Friday show, which is always the best, relaxed, chill show. Good vibes, talk about everything, not just United, not just football. And then Saturday, we got the Liverpool match, and we'll be live for the match reaction, the Red Devil recap after the show, and then we continue from there. You know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the love and all the support. Thank you to everybody that smashed the like button. It is massive, massive help. For the channel. It helps us get pushed out there, and it gets more reds out there. And I do see that. Thank you to anybody that's new. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe, and have the notifications on so you get notified when we go live. You always get noties. You get a notie 30 minutes before the show. You get a notie when the show goes live. We also got a Discord. I have it pinned in the pinned comment. It's also in the profile of the channel. If you want to join the Discord, we're always chatting in there when we're not live. And anybody that is new that subscribed, thank you as well. I appreciate that very much. And let me see, just to finish off some of the comments in the chat. I just hope that all the seats are filled in our opening game in the Champions League, especially at home. We've waited a long time for. I'm sure it will. Our seats are usually always filled. So I am counting on Arsenal going out. Oh yeah, I don't think Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal stand a chance against Atletico Madrid. I think they're gonna listen. Atletico very good defensively, but they've been scoring a lot of goals. Arsenal have been struggling to score goals, and if they do score goals, they've literally been scoring one goal. So I think they're gonna find it super, super difficult. Against Atletico Madrid. I think, if they played like Barcelona, it would be probably better in their favor because Barcelona plays a very high and exposed line. This is sort of the opposite. So I think with that, I don't think Arsenal stand a chance. to beat Atletico Madrid. And I've been saying this anyway. I think even if they somehow did, I don't think they'll win the UCL because I think they'll have to get through PSG. Because I do think PSG is going to get to the final, and I think PSG is going to win it. So I don't think they'll be able to beat PSG anyway. So, yeah, I think they're done. Eric, we are open. Try this. Josh Zirkzee sell Newcastle United 29.3 million. Buy Sandro Tonali for 89 million. Listen, I don't know. Me right now, I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just like as it stands right now. It's all just kind of fantasy right now. So, well, let's finish the season. Let's get to the transfer window. Let it open, and let's actually we'll go from there and see what starts happening. And we're gonna have to navigate World Cup and transfer window. So, but I will say this: for this summer transfer window, we're gonna be a lot more active, and I'll be around a lot more than I have been over the past 2 years, especially from basically from the beginning of June or end of May, all the way probably up until late July. And then I'm probably going to be going on my vacation towards the end of the summer. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff for the transfer window. For especially June and July, we're going to be doing a lot. We're going to be going crazy. We might have to do, maybe there'll be days where we do two shows a day. We're going to ramp it up. So I'm going to be around and I'm going to be available for that. So I'm going to take the opportunity to push really hard because, listen, the summer window does very well, especially for content. Does very well. People get very hyped up, very interested. There's always some crazy, news. So I'm going to try and push that as hard as possible while I have the opportunity to do so. So yeah. There's been a great stream as always, says Simon. This is something to look forward to in the evenings. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, same goes for me. Like I look forward to it too because I like interacting with you guys and having conversations and stuff. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it the same way. I'm not like some of these other people. Okay, like a lot of these guys, they scream, they rant, they go crazy. They got tons of jokes. I'm a little bit more straightforward and serious. So I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like maybe it comes across quite boring to maybe the masses, but if people enjoy it, I'm okay with it. So it's fine. So I appreciate that. Thank you. How's $100 to pick us? I wish. I'll send him a DM. The best I could do. If he reads it, he reads it. One day in the future, when I'm old, Arsenal will win the Champions League. No. no, they're not allowed. We don't spend the entire window on one specific player and still not succeed. I don't think we're necessarily going to do that because we have a lot of options. So, I don't think we'll necessarily do that. I mean, listen, we could take maybe a few weeks to do one deal, but we do have an extensive list of targets. So I don't think we're necessarily going to get stuck. Specifically. I mean, it does also depend on who the target is. I mean, it might be worth it to do such a thing depending on, who the player is. So we'll see and how important we deem them. We tend to wait until the last day of the window and panic buy. Well, that's something that's probably going to happen anyway because, again, the World Cup being involved, it makes everything shorter. So there's going to be maybe some players that we would like to get that they're going to be off at the World Cup. We're not going to be probably able to do a deal with them until they come back or the World Cup is over. So the World Cup is shortening the transfer window or just makes it a lot more hectic. And there's not a lot of turnaround time from when the World Cup ends to when sort of our preseason starts, and then the league actually starts. So it is going to be quite hectic. So I kind of expect that already. I don't think there's a world where we probably have all the signings and we're done and before the season starts. I think, we'll probably try to get a couple of them, a few of them, but I would assume, listen, for this situation, I think it's totally plausible that you are still trying to do 1 or 2 signings, mid-August or by late August, just because of how this is gonna go. It happens all the time, and it's not just gonna be us though. Is the other thing as well. It's gonna happen to all the clubs, just because of the scheduling. It's gonna be quite difficult. Liverpool City and Arsenal will be quick at pouncing. They might be, but I think, like I was just saying, like Liverpool City and Arsenal, I think all the teams will be doing business probably up until the very sort of close to last day. Maybe not exactly on the last day, but they'll be doing business late. Everybody will be doing business a lot deeper into the window than, let's say, they just did this summer. And it's just by default because of the World Cup. There's only so much you can do about it. So, but again, guys, I do gotta get out of here. So thank you. Be good. Everybody enjoy. Have a good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Stay safe. Sleep well. Sleep with a smile on your face. We got 3 points. We put ourselves in a very excellent position. And, just take care. And, everybody enjoy your Tuesdays and your Wednesdays. Enjoy the Champions League football. If you're in the Discord, I'll probably pop in there. I know a couple of the other members. They're always, discussing the match with each other while it's going on. Chatting with each other. I'll probably pop in there tomorrow and Tuesday and have a little chat with them as well. So if you're not in the Discord and you want to join, just click the link. Enjoy the Champions League matches if you're going to watch them, and we'll see each other on Thursday, 8:15 p.m. So if you're around, I'll see you then. So good night. Thank you. And we'll see each other and talk to each other very, very soon, okay?